to me. Oh, my Lord, you've been faithful to me. Is that anybody's testimony tonight? Faithful to me. Oh, my Lord, you've been faithful to me. I believe I'll testify, tell of your goodness, how you always supply. You've been faithful to me. Oh, my Lord, you've been faithful to me. Come on, I believe. Come on, I'll testify. Come on, tell of his goodness, how you always. Everybody say you've been. Oh, my Lord. Come on, say it again. Come on, sing faithful. Has anybody know that the Lord is being faithful to you? Oh, my Lord. Yes, Lord, you've been so faithful, yeah. Oh, my Lord. This is my favorite part of the song. I haven't always done right. Lord knows sometimes I've done wrong. But because of your grace, I can sing to you this song. You've been faithful. Yes, Lord. Oh, my Lord. Yes, Lord, you've been. Come on, everybody. I can rest on your word. Your promises, they still stand. If I seek your faith, you said, and you would heal the land. And you've been faithful. Oh, my Lord, yeah. Come on, everybody, can you just lift your hands and say, sing faithful, faithful. Oh, my Lord. You've been so faithful to me, Jesus. Oh, you've been faithful. Oh, my Lord. Yes, Lord, hallelujah. Miracles and wonders He's able to perform. Never cease to amaze me. He's God and God alone. Never lacks in his power. And he is faithful. To me, oh, my Lord, you've been faithful, oh, to me. Anybody know he's been faithful? Oh, my Lord, yeah. Yeah. Come on, everybody. Come on and say faithful, faithful, faithful. Faithful to me. Anybody know he's been faithful? Faithful. Faithful. When I was sick, he was a healer. 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 Healer to me. Healer. 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 Come on, lift your voice. Help me say Jesus. Jesus. In the morning. In the noonday. When I need you, I can call you. Your name is Jesus. Jesus. Say Savior. Savior. You reach way down and you save me from my mess. Savior. Savior. Hey, come on and say faithful. Say faithful. Does anybody know he's been faithful? Anybody know he's been faithful? Say faithful. Yes, you have. When I didn't deserve it. Faithful to me. Faithful. 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 Tears are sweet to trust in Jesus. Just to take him at his word. Just to rest upon his promise. To know what said the Lord. Oh, I'm faithful. He can be. Said he's been so kind to me. I'm not speaking of carnality, no. It's a spiritual thing that set me free. He's making love to my heart, and it's deeper than the eye can see. I'm here to let you know he's knocking at your door. Let him in. Let him in. Let him in. Let him in. Say. Let him in. Let him in. Oh, I love the way he talks to me. Yes, my Father even walks with me. Said he keeps my mind in perfect peace. Into my ear he sings a melody, yeah. He's making love to my heart. And it's deeper than the eye can see. 'Cause he has so much more. Don't ignore. Let him in. Oh, yeah. Let him in. Let him in. Open up your heart. Learn to let him in. Ooh, I'm so happy. I'm so happy, Lord. Nothing can harm me. Nothing can harm me. Open your heart, please, so he can see what is wrong.
Connecting the community through gospel. The new 107.9 FM, W300EB, Macon, and WDDO 980 AM, Perry, Macon.
The views expressed on this program are not necessarily the views of the Glory 980 AM, the Glory Media Group, LLC, WDDO AM, its staff, management, or advertisers, but are the views and opinions of the participants of the broadcast.
Mother Georgia, she's got 980 WDDO. All of a sudden, let's go live into the studio with our host, Brenda Sutton.
And hello.
Hello, how are you today?
Hello, everybody.
Oh gosh, Johnny's in bass. Johnny's in bass.
How's everybody
Well,
doing
I definitely
today?
don't want him to say, hello, how's everybody doing?
Thank you, Emily.
No, we don't want him doing that.
Thank you,
No.
Emily.
And to all my listeners, if you're out there and you can hear us and you're with us, hit us in the comments and say hello.
Because
But don't say it like that.
one
Hello.
thing I was questioning. I thought for sure since I said hello that Brenda might say that I was being a chauvinist.
You know what? Nah, I can't say you're chauvinist.
Oh, yeah.
Hello.
Give it 5 minutes.
Oh, I won't. I'm not gonna do that. I just
But
want
don't
to.
say you're not, because in about a few minutes,
I said
Hey,
5.
Reginald. Hey, Matthew.
I just want to. I just got back from my family reunion.
Where?
We were in Newark, New Jersey.
Oh, I thought you might have said London or something like that.
Nah, you know, we ain't going over there. You know, them old folk ain't getting on the plane. They can barely get up there with their walkers and stuff.
Don't do that. Don't do your family like that.
I love my family. You know, my family is like uber cool.
Mhm.
I mean, they're really, and they're funny. And, you know, I got some really interesting cousins and stuff. And they aren't, you know, they're not bougie or anything like that. We like tease all the time. So, you know, I mean, the thing about it is that when you say something, they're going to clap back. So
Well, that's what I like.
So you really, really, you know, I can crack on them while they can't clap back. But if I was up there, I wouldn't have been clapping like this.
And for those of you who are not used to that sort of lingo, when she says clap back, it does not mean taking your hands and putting your two hands together and making a movement. What clap back means, for those of you who don't speak, you know, the urban language, that means that if you say something smart or quip, you know, then they'll come right back at you.
And them old people got that old people slap back.
What they used to call it, playing the dozens.
Yeah, they call it
Jonesing.
Yeah, they did, and they're like real funny. They're like be making stuff about the.
Yeah, what you know about Jones?
You know,
I know enough.
You know enough. You know, so but it's just real interesting the way that you know, that we were up there. We had like about 130 people, I think, that came to that reunion. And then we had another reunion that was going on in Atlanta because the people just couldn't come. So we just kind of had two at one time.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to say there was maybe like 100 and something people at that one. So for that weekend, out of the Louvacie and Buena Vista line, we had about 250 people that met. That's where the ancestors. So I'm pretty excited about that. One day I have to talk about the lineage and what tribe we came from on the Louvacie side from Africa.
I like how you say we. You're embracing your cultural side now. You're not embracing the colonizer in you.
Now, the colonizer didn't come from over there from Egypt. That's where we originated from. They didn't come from over there. Egypt by way of Cameroon. They didn't come from over there. Cameroon, exactly. So it was really, really nice. I want to. I didn't take Henry with me, Reginald. You know, somebody said I did have a good time, but I missed my hen. I missed him, you know.
Yeah, we got to shoot some prayers out for Big Hen. You
Hey,
know,
what's up,
we
Wade?
love you. We are rooting for you to get back in full health and
Always,
full strength,
Henry.
and we love you.
Continuous prayers. Hey, Reginald. Hey, Matthew. What's up?
And guess who's got a birthday tomorrow? Henry.
Is it tomorrow?
So for all of the people that are listening, okay, because I usually don't ask, but I ask you, would you pretty please in the comment section, just even if you're in there for a little while, just hit it and say, happy birthday, Henry. Okay.
Aww.
Oh, that's awesome, man.
I need y'all to
birthday to you.
Sing it, Emily.
You got to sing happy birthday to him.
Okay, I'll sing it at the end.
Okay, we'll sing it at the end.
Watch this. How old is Henry going to be tomorrow?
Henry is going to be 73.
How old are you going to be next birthday?
67.
How old are you going to be, Emily?
42.
See, ladies, you can tell your age.
I don't understand why that's such a big deal.
I don't even know what the deal is. There he is coming up with some mess, you know.
And no, you know, I've heard that all my life, but I've always wondered, why is it so taboo to ask a woman's age or to tell your age? Like, I'm just wondering, like, where did that come from and why is it an issue?
It's big because there are some women out there and there are some men too. I ain't saying no name. I ain't saying no name. Who was we told him, says, you know what, Johnny, you look really good with just a gray beard. No, I'm gonna put some just for men on it. I'm gonna try to make what is that stuff?
Yeah.
What is that? Some Beijing.
I didn't say Beijing.
You said just for men.
I said no. I'm just gonna take some of y'all's regular stuff y'all put on y'all.
Oh, talking about mascara.
And then put
I
on
don't know
his
what
beard.
to call it.
And so I was like, Johnny, you really look distinguished with the gray beard. And so he's like, nah. So people don't want to deal with their age. It's the craziest thing. I'm 67. I love it. I mean, it's all right. I'm all good. You know, Henry's all good with his age. He's 70. It's a blessing to get to add years onto your life. Mm-hmm. But there are some folk out there who don't want it.
I think I look good for 174 years old.
You do. But I mean, putting out jokes aside, Johnny, there's a lot of people who don't embrace their age.
Oh, absolutely.
And you're gonna change. You're gonna, I got some. My neck is loose, the skin is there. But you know what? I'm okay with that. But there are some people that if you ask a woman oh, honey, I don't give my age.
Don't you know you don't ask a woman her age? I'm like, what?
Now, if a random, it's weird if a random guy just asks me my age. It's kind of like, what? Well, why would you ask me that? But like, anybody else, it doesn't bother me. I've never really understood. I'm like, I am the age that I am. Like, what is the?
It's a blessing,
right?
It is a blessing.
I don't get it,
and that's what just kind of throws me off. I'm like, what's your problem?
Yeah.
Why? What's up with that? I have no idea why women. And you know what, Johnny? You say women, but I see some of these men out here who look like they got shoe polish in their head. They need to stop putting. And this ain't where we're going with the show today. We're gonna get to but all of that shoe polish in their head. That's that Beijing. They have so much. You know what I'm talking about? Jamie Foxx got it in here. They had them lines that be so straight.
Call Jamie Foxx out.
Well,
he do.
And it's a couple of other ones up there too. I can't think of their name offline, but they had that thing around their head, and it be so sharp. Now everybody know good and darn well that they ain't got no hairline and that doggone sharp. And I don't care about you looking at me, Mr. Jackson. You don't wear Beijing.
Yes, you do. He does. We just had that conversation last week.
I didn't know. I'm sorry, Mr. Jackson. But
she knew.
We love you though.
But your hairline, so it go back a little bit. You ain't got, I used to work with this mediator.
Now she's trying to say you got a 5 head instead of 4 head.
Let me see.
I ain't saying nothing, but he used to spray his scalp. And I'm like, why they be spraying that?
It's a lot of people that do that. Yeah.
I don't, I'm
and
like.
The fake beard too, the one that they glue on. I did not know guys were doing that.
Oh,
yeah, the fake beard, yeah.
I didn't know it.
It's like a lace front beard, like the women wear the lace front.
Yeah.
Right. Men have lace front beards.
And I just found that out Saturday.
Johnny.
Oh, now you super late.
Let me tell you what else they doing. They gluing the hair onto their head.
Yeah.
And then they shaving it down, and you don't know. So guys be talking trash. Child, you don't know what she got on or whatever she is until it's time for her to go to bed and stuff. I said, all right, now you better watch it with them men, because you really, a lot of these guys who got all these long locks all the way down the back, that ain't real.
Yeah.
That ain't real now.
It's you'd be surprised at how many men are wear weaves, dreadlock weaves, low haircut, like fade. They can fade a weave.
They can fade a weave.
The dreadlock thing, a lot of that started in the NFL because they use it to cushion the blows from being tackled.
We ain't,
I'm serious.
That may be, but we ain't talking about that. We ain't talking about trying to justify that foolishness. You up here trying to, they wear it for a style. Because the people I see that have it, they ain't playing no football.
Right.
No, I was just kidding. Man.
They ain't playing no football. They ain't doing nothing.
But it's all good. I don't particularly wear it, but I would find it odd.
Says yarn.
Yeah,
well, some of it is yarn, like the locks and stuff. They add yarn to thicken it up, make it longer, and different things like that. But I mean, to each his own. If you have a weave as a man, I would want to know.
But I like, and I'm fine with it. I'm just simply saying about age that there's in a sense, and I ain't being ugly. There is no reason for folk head to be tore up now. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, back in the day, you could like put a scarf or something on it. But for now, with all the products and all the different techniques and things like that, ain't no reason for your head to be tore up.
I mean,
hallelujah.
And there it is.
And there it is. And I won't even talk about the eyelashes today.
Let's move on. So what we're going to talk about today?
Carly.
Listen.
Carly, Johnny, you heard about Carly, didn't you?
Who is Carly?
That girl that told a lie about walking out there finding the
Carly Russell.
The one that she said somebody kidnapped her or something?
Yeah. With her telling story herself. She told a story, right?
Yeah, that's what we're going to call it.
What would you call it?
Can't say it on the air.
You know what? Well, go ahead on. You can say it. Just bleep it.
No,
you can bleep it. You can go.
Oh, good afternoon, Ricky.
Hey, Ricky, what's going on? You know what? Carly told the biggest lie.
What's up, Crawford?
I've been doing research on her, Emily.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought it was very interesting. The first thing was, and this is just a question just to throw out,
Mm-hmm.
they said, well, she has mental illness.
No, where she got mental illness at?
I want to know, did she get it in that red Mercedes that she drove?
No, you
Right.
always get mental illness when you get caught.
When you get caught, right? That's so. Listen, I said it from day one, and when I tell you social media came after me, they ate me up. The first thing I said was, y'all don't find that interesting? Y'all don't find something about this whole situation that's just strange and odd? And I said, and I even posted this on my social media. I said, doesn't anybody find it strange that they haven't mentioned that baby, the baby that she saw, not one time? Nobody's issued that my child is missing. Nobody's put out a missing child report. Nobody said my baby was kidnapped, but she saw a baby, a Caucasian baby with a t-shirt on and a diaper, walking down the side of the highway. Nobody else saw this baby except for her. So there are no other phone calls to the police that evening. Nobody else saw the baby but her. So I knew automatically, I'm like, she's lying. There's no way a baby is walking down the freeway and nobody calls but one person.
And then too,
come on, and a black female, let's be honest, a young black female, she ain't studying that.
And then she said, and when he had orange hair, she said when he snatched her, he had orange hair with a bald spot in it. Now it's dark. Matthew, I don't know if she was doing some drugs, but I know she was up to no good. And guess what? The other piece of the thing was, because she was on the phone with her brother's girlfriend. Yeah. And so, so she had that, to solidify what happened. But, by the way, she left that Apple phone out there, right? She left a pocketbook out there with that Apple Watch in it, right? You know why, don't you?
So they couldn't locate her.
Now, I wear an Apple Watch, okay? You got to take that girl off. It don't just come off. I mean, you got to undo it to get it off. So you mean to tell me that?
Well, see,
Reggie say she saw Donald Trump.
Well, Reginald, I was thinking either him or the old Ronald McDonald, one or the other.
Or that comedian Carrot Top.
That's true.
Yeah, could have been. There's three people.
Could have been Carrot
But
Top.
the whole thing, and I tell people, like, this ain't mental illness. This girl, this is premeditated.
I believe
she
you.
thought about it. They've pulled up her Google records or her IP address on her cell phone, on her laptop. They've tracked her, backtracked all of her movements for several weeks leading up to the day. Even the stuff she Googled the movie Taken. Come on. Then she Googled about asking about an Amber Alert. Then she Googled about abductions. So this is not mental illness. This is something that you planned out. You thought about it for a little while. She probably had cold feet a few times, thinking like, I don't know if I can pull it off. Yeah. So it's not mental illness. And as African Americans, we have to stop hiding behind the mental illness jargon. When people are mentally ill, they're mentally ill. You ain't that crazy if you had enough sense to plan this out over a several week period. You done went to Target and got you some snacks. You went to get you something to eat, drinks and all of that. Now you left all of that in the car, but you went back and the bag with the snacks in it was gone. And you claimed that the kidnappers was feeding you the Cheez-Its. So you got out of the car because you saw an infant, right?
Right.
You left everything in the car, your watch, your cell phone, your purse, and whatever else. Well, you had the cell phone on you when you was talking, right?
Right.
You left the food in the car, but you managed to come back to the car and get the bag of snacks before you got snatched. Because the bag of snacks, what you bought at Target that they caught you on camera buying, is what you said the kidnappers fed to you.
Right. And then you said it would have been a chapter. You're right. It would have been a traffic jam, Reginald, with people trying to help. So that's the foolishness of it. When you really start to listen to it, I'm like, okay, it made no sense to me because I know that, and no offense to anybody, but, with that being a little Caucasian baby out there, they'd have towed the world down to find the baby. Well, it didn't matter what race the baby is. If it's a baby, it's a baby, it's a baby. And but especially, you know, with what she claimed to be going on, and then she had the audacity. You know, her mom and them won't let them talk to her, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Because
Mm-hmm.
and I believe she a little spoiled. I really do.
Clearly.
And by the way, you know, word on the street is that her mom and them went and picked her up from the red roof, and they trying to pretend like they didn't do it, but yeah, they did it.
Well, now listen. Now they said that I read one article that said that um the neighborhood that she lives in, they have a lot of the houses have video cameras, and they actually have her on video walking to the house. She's walking nonchalantly to the house, and when she gets about 2 or 3 houses away, she starts, she starts booking it. She starts running really hard. So when she comes up to her parents' house and she's beating on the door, it looks like she's out of breath, like I've escaped and I managed to get away. But
Get
they
out of
actually
here.
have footage of her walking in the neighborhood like nothing had happened, very nonchalantly, and then she just takes off running all of a sudden.
Now that's the part that gets me. And Johnny, we want to talk about this in terms of number one, how people use mental illness as a crutch to get whatever it is that they, to do whatever it is that they want. And her big, she's not, there is no responsibility taken for what she's done, not from her parents or from her. I mean, nothing. All the thing her boyfriend is doing now on the internet, talking about folk need to stop cyberbullying her. Leave her alone.
Well, that's odd because do you know what he did?
Uh-uh.
I didn't even know this. So went to his Instagram page. He has deleted every single picture that he has of her.
Oh.
Every single picture that he took with her has been deleted off of his social media.
Oh.
So I find that odd that he would come back and tell people to stop bullying her when he doesn't even want to be associated with her anymore. He deleted every single picture.
Well, then maybe he got some mental illness too.
Oh my God, have y'all seen the meme with Jussie Smollett and the versus battle, Jussie Smollett versus Carly Russell?
Oh, that is funny.
Wow.
Oh, they
and
went
then
deep.
The other meme where they did Tooken, it said Tooken. First she saw a baby, then she disappeared. And then they have like all the credits at the bottom. It's the internet it remains undefeated.
And by the way, and so why are you crying? Why are you crying about it? You did it. Did you honestly think that no one was going to say anything? 63,000. Let me hear it, Johnny. You ding ding. Mm-hmm. $63,000 that they collected. And I said, I don't know who they is, but I would assume, I'm thinking it's a boyfriend or something. By the way, and so at first he says, we're going to give all the money back. We're going to refund all the money to all the people that gave us money to help us look for her and stuff. We're going to pay it all back. And then he just came out now. This probably been about 4 hours. I'm sorry, we're not going to be able to give you the money back.
This was the boyfriend or the parents?
Boyfriend.
See.
And by the way, they did find some more tire marks. Now they must not watch a lot of Law and Order movies like I do. Because I think I'm the queen of the police shows and stuff like that. And I do now. I'm like, fool, don't you know that they already got your tie track? Mm-hmm. Don't you know they're going to take and measure that tie track up against your tie track? Come on, David Davis. You know what y'all be doing. Y'all sneaky as I don't know what. Y'all popo sneaky. Wow. And then it's always somebody that didn't seen you. Mm-hmm. Okay, now Crime Stoppers, I know that they were talking about because Crime Stoppers did a reward to try to catch her, to find her and stuff. But now Crime Stoppers are gonna pay somebody to give them information. Does she not know and understand how that thing works? Mm-hmm. All they got to do is give somebody $25.
You said $25. That's all they want. $25.
All they want is lunch. In Macon, they don't even want that. All they want is a cigarette.
Gotta be Newport though.
You get close
Newport
to the
shorts.
Mic. Get to the mic. Can't hear you.
It's according to what neighborhood. In one neighborhood they want Marlboro, other neighborhood they want Newport.
They want Newport.
Newport shorts.
Yeah.
But
short in the box.
In the box. I'm telling you, you ain't got to do too much of nothing for people around here to take and tell on you. But I'm just telling you, up there where she's in Alabama, they probably really putting all jokes aside. All they need is a piece of chicken. That's that.
Wow.
I mean, it don't take much for the people to be talking. And then too, there is money to be made for her story. See, that's what I'm saying. That's how silly she is. She don't understand just how this thing works. All they got to do is go find somebody. They pay people for stories.
Okay, but the important question here is, do they want Kentucky Fried Chicken, Church's Chicken, or Popeye?
I want Popeye.
Okay.
What you want?
I mean, none of it, Lord have
But
mercy.
but putting all jokes aside, she sat here and she did this. Now my problem.
She is a joke. What do you mean putting all jokes aside? She is a joke.
Well, here's the thing too. In the internet, us as a culture, as a people, African Americans, this is what I have an issue with, right?
Oh,
okay. That was random.
It was, but
okay,
Matthew.
He must have had some personal issue with it.
I know. Well, thank you. But okay, so here's the issue, guys, and follow me. In our culture, we are the only culture that tends to extend grace when grace should not, quote unquote.
You
be
better
extended.
say you said it right.
So everybody was coming after me initially, right? They're coming after me saying, y'all should be glad that she was found. And at first, and of course, I was asking the questions. Y'all don't ask these kind of questions when Caucasian women get kidnapped. I said, yes, we do. I asked the same question.
Yes, we do.
And
it ain't got nothing
right.
It ain't got nothing to do with race.
And I said, they were like, well, did she done set the black community back? And I said, first of all, we got to stop giving her a pass just because she black. And this was all up and down my news feed. Oh, y'all just better be glad we didn't have social media when we was young, because think about all the stuff that could have landed you in jail. Think about all the stuff that you could have did.
Come on.
And I replied back, I said, first of all, I ain't never did nothing that could land me in jail. Now, I done made some stupid mistakes. All of us have. But I ain't never did nothing that I knew knowingly would get me locked up in jail. That's number one. So I don't know what kind of life y'all done live. But I'm not judging. But the most important thing is, what does that have to do with the issue at hand? She premeditated her own abduction. She had an entire nation looking for her. You had crying parents, crying family members, people that had made candlelight vigils, where she had gotten kidnapped on the side of the road, all kind of stuff. People donated thousands of dollars in the search, time and money, to look for this girl. And somehow we're supposed to give her a pat. Y'all need to stop humiliating her. No, she humiliated herself because you tried to pull off a stunt that didn't go off well. You tried to orchestrate your own abduction, and you're an idiot. And idiots, unfortunately, we live in the age of social media. So when you're an idiot, now everybody knows you're an idiot.
That's right. And this thing of, and I like the way that you say that black folk, and I'm, we give grace to people who really don't deserve it. She don't deserve. What she need to do is they need to charge her and make her pay some of that money back.
Yeah. Now, I don't think she's going to do any jail time or anything like that.
I don't think she needs
to. But I think she needs to do some community service. I definitely think she needs to pay back some of that money. I think that this is a real thing, and this is a habit that it's a pattern that's going to start because these young girls want attention. They want, whatever was going on in her mind at the time, she wanted some attention. She needed a couple of days off. I don't know what the girl was going through, but you didn't pull it off, sweetheart.
That's going my friend.
Okay,
Andrea.
Here we go. Here, our resident therapist said this.
Andrea.
She said, I do not think mental illness should be the past. I'm sorry for the reasons, but mental illness is not an excuse for bad behavior. Exactly. She doesn't, that's what I'm saying, because my thought came in, is it manipulation? Or is it mental illness? Now, it may have been some mental illness, but it's a tremendous amount of manipulation because she sat there and that was premeditated. That chick had to think about that.
That's why I feel like it's not mental illness, because it was you thought it out. You planned it out. I mean, everything. They have traced every single one of her steps from, I think, 3 or 4 days prior, all up until the day of.
Right.
I think they even went back a couple of weeks. They've traced her steps. You ain't mentally ill. You had enough sense to research all of this stuff. And even if you are mentally ill, you had enough sense to know what you were doing. So we can't use the mental illness card on this one. And as Black people, we got to stop giving these folks passes and stop saying, oh, hey, it's okay. The Lord is a merciful. Like, wait a minute, hold on. Just last year, the girl that was the track star, she got caught smoking weed. Everybody ate her up, and I said then, we got to stop giving our people passes. She knows what she was supposed to do. You're not supposed to smoke weed or have drugs in your system. She got drug tested. She won that race, but she got drug tested. Now you can't go be in the Olympics because you were smoking weed. I'm not giving her no grace and mercy because it was somebody else that could have ran, if not just as fast or as close to her, right? But they didn't get that spot. You did. And now you messed it up, and the girl that could have had your spot didn't get it. So I'm not extending grace and mercy to her. You ain't supposed to smoke no weed.
And then she said, hey, y'all, she needs accountability. She
exactly
does. She does. And you know what I think, though? I think she's spoiled. I don't know her. This is just coming from my spirit, but I think she's spoiled. I think mom and daddy, she's got a degree in psychology, by the way.
Mm-hmm. The mama?
Oh, the girl. Carly has a degree in psychology.
Mm.
And maybe a bachelor's, but she has that. And then she she drives a Mercedes.
Did she come from a single parent home?
No, I think no. She got a mom and a daddy.
Yeah, because her parents are together.
Wow.
But now Andrea said we'll talk about that one. But But
why she deserved grace, Andrea? I'm curious. Why do you think Sha'Carri deserved grace? So if that would have been anybody else, because you know how we are, if that would have been anybody else, we would have said, she can't run. That ain't fair. Now, if that would have been a white person that got caught smoking weed, we would have said, get them out of here. They can't run. That's not fair. But why is it that she deserves grace? Because she was black. Weed is a depressant, and she still won. That's beside the point.
But you know what, though? I think that what ends up happening is, and y'all know how I feel about this, is that sometimes, especially as in the black community, we do this. We extend grace to people who, don't do. Yeah. And let me go back. Some of my worst clients are women. Okay. Mm-hmm. And women, there's a lot of women, black and white, who do things who are not held accountable. That's where I'm going with this.
Mm-hmm.
They are not held accountable. I know of situations that beyond this, that if a woman has told a lie, oh, okay, I got you. They have told a lie about, about the DNA of a child. Mm-hmm. And a man, and there's a lot of men out there listening. I want y'all to hit me up in the comment line who have paid child support forever. Mm-hmm. And when those children turn a certain age, that woman will tell them, so that ain't your baby. Mm. And there is no accountability for that. Mm-hmm. They don't have to pay that man back or anything. So I'm just simply saying that there needs to be some accountability for women. There needs to be some accountability for her, especially Kylie, because I'm like, baby, what you did, to me, she's setting a standard. If they don't spank her, like you said, these young people now are going to see how far they can take it.
Right, exactly.
So she got to be punished.
Mm-hmm. And Andrea said, because her grandmother died and she did a little puff pass. If she can win a race with a depressant in her system, she should be applauded. Now, I'm not saying the girl is not good. She was bad. She won the race fair and square, but there's rules. And I think that's what I'm talking about in our community. For some reason, we don't think the rules should apply to us. We just think, and I hate to say this, I'm going to put it like this: run, ninja, run. That's the old saying, run, ninja, run. As long as we can run, right? As long as we can run or dribble and we making money for somebody, for whatever reason, our culture loves to give these people a pass. But if that would have been a white girl, and she would have had weed in her system, and she won the race, we would have been like, get her out of there. No, that's not fair. She should be disqualified. Why do we extend grace to our own, but we won't extend grace to someone else?
And that's interesting.
Why do we give a pass to our own, but we won't give that same pass to someone else? I do think she should be held. She, was held accountable, rightfully so. She had it in her system. Those rules have been in place since the beginning of the Olympics. She can't have drugs.
Who got mail?
You can't have drugs in your system. When you're competing, they know the rules. The bottom line is she just got caught. Unfortunately, she got caught. And when we do things that we're not supposed to do, you have to suffer the consequences. It's called accountability.
Well,
Carly Russell now has to suffer the consequences of all of those resources that went towards her. And now she has to either pay the resources back or figure something out.
Yeah, Michael Phelps did get in trouble for smoking, and
didn't they take his medals though?
They did.
Yeah,
he got in trouble
every day.
Hey,
In the courthouse.
You, Ricky, why you telling on me? Ricky talking about he see him use it every day in the courthouse. I'm telling him why he telling on me. Don't be putting my business in the street like that.
Hey, Steve.
No, I don't be smoking. I don't be doing that stuff. But I think the thing is,
and Reggie. Yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Brenda. But yeah, Reggie, they took his medals.
I think the thing with Carly that just really upset me more than it is so many women, especially Black women, who are missing. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
And she squandered resources doing what that foolishness that she did. So the next one, and I hate to say it, they said, well, you're talking in group talk, but the next Black woman that's missing, that's truly missing, or the next woman that is truly, doesn't matter what race she is, they're going to think about this nonsense that she did and think twice about providing some sort of help. Exactly. That's the problem to me.
Yeah. And then, and I think, people were going too far saying, I want my prayers back. I prayed for Carly and I want my prayers back. And, I'm like, okay, that's a bit much. We can't go that far, and asking for our prayers back. But I definitely think, I didn't care whether the girl was white or Black. Initially I didn't pray for her at all because I just thought it was too bizarre.
It was bizarre.
I didn't stop to think, let me pray that this girl is returned. I just had a bunch of questions. So I didn't have a prayer to take back because I
wasn't doing all that because it didn't sound right to me. Because first of all, I'm like, I'm a mother, you're a mother, and Johnny is an uncle. And Johnny, I said that. See, I included you in the children. You heard me?
I did.
Okay. And John is a very caring person. Okay. I mean, he has a big heart, probably bigger than mine, when it comes to that. They couldn't have took him if he was protecting a baby. You know what I'm saying? They would have been bodies on the side of the road. We'd have been fighting, or something like that. And that's why it just didn't make any sense because of the way that she, the way they reacted. I mean, it didn't match the situation. Okay. I believe that someone was waiting on her and she jumped in the car. And I think it was the boyfriend, Matthew. I think they got them $63,000 and, probably we're going to see a wedding.
What, Brenda?
I think it's safer.
Log off and leave.
And also, I think it's safer to say it could have been her mate because we don't know whether she was in the guys or girls.
She just apologized on the news and so what? See that kind of nonsense. So what? She apologized. You know what, Reginald? Don't even tell me that because I can't say the words that I want to say on the. I can't say them on the air. They'll put me off.
Reg, don't make her tap these folk furniture.
But that this is nonsense. So her mama and them has told her you need to go on air and you apologize, baby girl. You apologize for giving back that $63,000. And that's right. And they are going to charge her good. They need to charge her because what she did is wrong. You know how these kids start a fad or something like that.
Yes, exactly.
And the next thing they'll be doing all kind of dumb. It's gonna, and the police are already. Don't nobody want to be no police. I mean, already, and that ain't nothing that nobody want to do.
Right.
So we don't have enough law enforcement. There's just not enough to even take care of the things that we need taken care of in order for them,
Reggie said lock her up.
You know,
Matthew said they gonna charge her. Yeah, Reggie said that she just apologized on the news. She stated that there was no kidnapping. It didn't take a rocket science to figure that out. We know that, Carly. We know you wasn't kidnapped.
I didn't know. And then you're gonna come on there and then tell a lie. And see, the first thing when I was listening to it, I'm like, okay, I got an Apple Watch. I got that. You left your stuff there so you could have up the location.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Because all you got to do is just know her Apple ID and you can find her. So she made sure. She made sure that she didn't that nobody could find her by her watch. And that's what I'm saying, Johnny. She had to like physically unbuckle her watch to get it off. It wasn't that it fell off. She had to unbuckle it. That was premeditated and things like that. And the sad part is, like I say, it's some other people who really do have mental illness. Okay, I mean, who got it bad. That's gonna look at this and says, "Oh God, look at all that attention she got and all that money." You know, so $63,000 is a lot of money. It may not be to some people out there, but it's a lot of money to me. So for her, for her to have all of that, and then they said, "Well, we're not gonna 12 months probation." Are you, Ricky? Don't even tell me that. Don't even tell me 12 months probation.
Well, that's what I figured. I figured she wasn't actually going to do no time. I figured they'd give her community service or probation or something like that. So they'll probably charge her a fine, but it'll be something that she can afford, or they may just give her a community service. But the fact that they're not doing anything harsher, it's almost like that, damn if you do, damn if you don't. And like if they if they're too harsh on it, then people are going to say she didn't deserve that. It wasn't that bad. And then if they're not harsh enough, people are going to say she needs to be made an example out of. So I guess at this point you have to see what the law actually says. Like, essentially, I think the only crime that she committed was filing a false report. And so what is the maximum sentence for filing a false report? Because
give a community service on that same highway where she saw that baby. Make her pick up paper, okay?
Right.
Give that heifer a sling blade and make her clean up the weeds around there, okay? You know what I'm talking about? That and a sling blade and some hedge clippers. You know what some hedge? You know what I'm talking about?
I mean, think about it.
Make her clean up
the hedge clippers. I mean, because think about it. The only thing she actually reported was that she saw a baby. And the baby was never there. She never said that she was kidnapped. She led people to believe, so we all assumed, right, that she was kidnapped. So the only crime, quote unquote, that she committed is, hey, there was a baby on the side of the road, and it actually wasn't one.
Ricky, you know the law. If they collected money for her, and it was false, it was under false pretenses. Then are they supposed to give that? I wish Henry was on the line. Are they supposed to give that money back, or is that fraud? See, that's where I think.
But it wouldn't be fraud on her. It would be whoever collected the money.
Well,
because she didn't collect the money. She didn't ask for her money. The family did.
So we're going to find out. Because there is a crime committed because they did collect the money under false pretenses. And if you collect the money, then you need to give it back.
Right.
Or be responsible for giving it back.
Yeah. Report 12 months, repay money. So
okay.
He said false report, 12 months, repay money. And he says 12 months probation.
What kind of money she got to repay, Ricky? Because she need to repay that $63,000, but then she didn't got fired from her job at the spa. Because that's what she was working at.
The money should be, because Sean Walker said the money should be returned. It should be. And I wonder, if it was collected through a GoFundMe account? Was it collected through a Cash App or PayPal? How was the money actually collected?
They said all of it.
So Ricky says all of it has to be repaid. So what about the family? Because I guess I'm trying to figure out, like, if the family assumed that the girl was kidnapped, let's just, let's go with that theory. If the family that collected the money actually really did believe that the girl was kidnapped, and they did use some of the money to, help pay volunteers or buy food while the family was laying in waiting on, does that money have to be paid back? Because if I collected money and I used some of the money towards the efforts, not knowing that she wasn't kidnapped, would I be responsible for paying that money back? That's kind of not fair to me, because heck, I thought she was kidnapped.
But I also know that on that the parents went to the Red Roof Inn. Okay, so they knew. Yeah, they knew because one of the employees down there told it. Say, yeah, so that she came and checked in at the Red Roof. And then she went to the store and bought her some snacks and stuff. So I'm just telling you, the people saw her. That's how silly she is. That's why I know that she's I would say she's spoiled. She want to be street, but ain't street.
I'm gonna try and test my theatrical abilities right now and find out whether I really am a thespian and see if I can convince anybody that I'm concerned at all about Carly Lee or whatever her name is. So here's the deal. What if the master plan is knowing every move to make, knowing that there are going to be minimal charges to her after they find her and find out and she comes on and admits, no, that was not a kidnapping. What if the master plan is that now people are going to be lining up wanting to interview her, wanting to write a book, what is her book about? They're going to, I guarantee you, all kind of talk shows are going to want to be the first ones to interview this liar. We've got her live on, and they're going to be paying her way more than $63,000. Now, what if that's her master plan?
And it could be,
She might not be as stupid as everybody
by the
thinks
way,
she
it could
is.
be, but I would hope that any of these people should not take and elevate her to any type of status by asking her to be on anything, because
But they're going to do that anyway.
But she's an embarrassment.
And it depends, because now I don't watch TV anymore, but I used to follow Oprah and for extensively. And I do know that in a lot of cases, especially when it comes down to news stations, they are not allowed to pay people for interviews. So if she goes onto a private show, like she can't go onto a major news network, but if she goes onto a private show, they may be willing to pay her to do an appearance. But I don't even think she thought that far, Johnny. I mean, I get where you're coming from, because that would make sense to a logical person. But in order for all of that to work, your plan, you should have been, and I'm doing the air quotes, you should have stayed kidnapped longer. Right. You were only gone for 48 hours. So it's kind of like, girl,
yeah, but this is an instant society. So it doesn't take long for her to get the YouTube page and get the stars, and everybody want to know what she really got to say. And so it's easy now to make money, because I saw somebody the other day, some dude got a YouTube page where he shows fights in different neighborhoods, and you have to pay like $1 to get on this page and see it. And he had like 2.1 followers for that one particular fight section over in Bowden Homes the other day. And I'm sitting there going, now this dude has made $2,100 today because he charged the people $1 to come on his page and watch the fights, because he was like giving a preview of it. This is what's going on now. This is what's happening now. Ooh, he just hit her. Ooh, she just hit her. Now the pregnant lady and came out fighting. So when I many people said, that's my button pop. I'm gonna pay him $1. Let me see who out there fighting pregnant, and do I know him? So it's so many ways now in this screwed up society to make money that, I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out something.
But you know what though, Johnny? No.
Make this interesting.
But you know what? It's hard for you. But I would have thought that you would have chimed in on it, especially being the male chauvinist that you is.
No, what did get my attention was the lady who worked at Amazon that got $10 million. Now that lady got my attention. The lady that worked at Amazon got $10 million, went out and bought, let me see all this stuff. She bought a bunch of stuff. She bought a Lamborghini. She bought a $1 million house.
All right.
She bought a Tesla. And she bought another expensive car. Now that lady, she was getting it. Now that's who they gave her 16 years, I think, in prison. She bought $1 million home in Smyrna. She's in Georgia. Where was the Carly lady at?
Alabama.
See, this lady is in Georgia.
Yeah, up there in Atlanta, right?
Yeah.
So how did she get this money?
She worked with Amazon. She had these fake
get to the mic for me.
Fake vendors and fictitious invoices and things, which told her she got $10 million. She'd been on a spending spree. She and her girlfriend bought $1 million home in Smyrna, Georgia, several luxury cars, including a Lamborghini, a Porsche, a Tesla. Now that lady right there had some kind of thing going on.
I got it. I mean, and all I'm saying to you is, I'm not going to elevate that lady or anything like that. And y'all need to change subjects. Say false reports or false, but no matter what it is. Okay, Ricky, we got it.
Me too, Ricky.
Okay, Ricky, we got it. Okay, he just said leave it alone.
What in it?
Ricky, you're being a chauvinist now.
Ricky, what kind
He
of?
said, if they get the money back, I will be president of the United States.
Hello, Mr. President Crawford. No, I don't think that. Hey, Mr. President.
You got a better chance than Tim Scott, Rick.
Child, that Tim Scott look like a little Ewok, don't he? And then he got them lips and stuff, and he just, he looked like a woman would never kiss him. You know what I mean? Maybe a man, but he's like a woman would never kiss him.
Well, now you're gonna have the alphabet after us.
What alphabet?
You know the alphabet, the Rainbow Coalition.
Oh, what to my Tim Scott? Tim Scott, y'all know he tore it from the floor up. Rudy from you right, Reginald. He do look like Rudy from Fat Albert. He does. Y'all know he look like him.
Did Brenda send you some notes over for the show today?
Reginald, you my boy.
Secretary.
Reginald,
Reggie listens every week.
No, I'm just saying, but he is just spot on today.
He is. He does look like that. You know how you do, and then he just so goofy. He can't help it. He just real weird looking everything. I'm just looking for him to have a little hat on his head. He got a little bald head and everything, and the little eyes cut out and everything.
Kashawn, don't you participate with them?
Well, that's the truth. Tell the truth and shame the devil.
Because that was a legendary character from Fat Albert. And Rudy will always be a part of me. Rudy helped me grow up. He
helped me. Well, I was grown. You don't know why he telling that lie that Rudy helped him grow up. You was an old man.
No, I wasn't. Ruby got me, Deesby Dobby.
That wasn't when you was a little boy.
Yes,
you wasn't no little boy when the Cosbys came on. You was a teenager.
I was not a teenager.
Yes, you were.
No,
when the Cosby?
Yeah.
No, she talking about Fat Albert.
Oh, Fat Albert. Okay.
His chances like a one-legged man going to kick.
Yeah, see, Brenda, you talking about Rudy on the Cosby Show. He's talking about Rudy from Fat Albert.
That's what she said, Rudy from Fat
Albert.
I know, but I was a kid when Fat Albert was coming on.
Fat Albert. Somebody out there do a quick search and tell me when Fat
Albert.
Johnny, you couldn't have been a kid because I was a child.
That's what I'm talking about. On. That's what I'm talking about. Johnny is
you
confused.
Got at least 20 years on me.
I was a child.
Johnny, you were not a child. Somebody look it up out there and tell me when Fat Albert was on TV.
Unless I was watching massive reruns.
Johnny, how old are you?
62.
All right. You was born in the 60s.
I'll be 63 August 25th.
Oh, you out there trying to get some birthday presents. But anyway, some people. Okay, let me stop.
No, what year did Fat Albert cartoon come on?
Right. And Johnny know that he was.
The show premiered in 1972. I was 12.
You want now, Johnny? All right, I rest my case. At 12 years old that you was sniffing some little girls. You was not looking at no cartoon.
No, children back, 12-year-old children back when I was a 12-year-old child were 12-year-old children.
Yeah, that's true.
There was no internet. There was no cell phone. There was none of that stuff.
Okay,
you couldn't go in the room when grown folk were talking. None of that stuff.
Right, 1972 to 1985. So that's why it was on when I was a kid. Remember, I said I was watching it when I was a little
12.
kid because I was born in 81. So yeah, it was on when
Johnny,
I was a kid.
Johnny, you was not. Well, in 1972, I would have I graduated in 75, so. I was kind of a teenager.
16.
I was a teenager.
You were 16.
Yeah. I was cute though.
And I was 12.
I was a cheerleader at Central.
Like when you were 12, you couldn't even go around 13-year-olds. You weren't a teenager yet. You couldn't even go around them. They wouldn't even. You ain't no teenager. You can't come and hang out with us.
You know what though? But you said something, and we'll talk about it. The different eras of raising children. Like you weren't allowed to get in grown folks' conversation.
None of that.
You weren't allowed to be in the room.
None of
that. You had to sneak and hear them talking at and you know what? Yeah, I'm going to talk about that family reunion because you know what? They still be whispering. You know them old girls, they be like
So
80 some years old.
So they still gonna die with them secrets.
I ain't lying, they ain't telling them secrets. You know, oh, come on outside. You know, now I'm getting to the point I can get some of them old girl secrets. It's really good stuff though. Because them men used to do some stuff back then. Yeah. But getting back on subject, Johnny, which you didn't took us back off subject because you didn't want to talk about Carly. Okay.
No, I was just saying.
Yeah, I was a tenderoni. I was like a cheerleader at Central. I was like, I could do cartwheels and splits and stuff. And Willie Wolfhawk used to catch me.
Willie Wolfhawk was one of my neighbors in Macon Homes.
Oh, for real?
Mm-hmm.
You used to live in Macon Home?
Yeah.
Brenda was a tenderoni.
I used to live next door to Alex Habersham and Connie Cater. Live next door to me.
She must have been a tenderoni in the 70s because now, honey, them elbows and knees is tender.
She ain't lying about that, you know. Y'all be cracking jokes.
Right, now macaroni.
See, Ricky, I ain't laughing with you.
See, Rick.
I ain't laughing with you. You know, that was a good joke, though.
Rick. See, how you do?
See, he'll flip on you. See, he be talking real good and next thing go. But Johnny, I really did think that you would be interested in this because
I am interested in it.
Because the thing of it is, you know, and I talk about women all the time and that how they just do stuff and just get away with it. And you know,
my thing about that is about the pregnant stuff, about the babies. This about her talking about she saw somebody on the side of the road and was telling a lie.
But I'm talking about the way that women do stuff and get away with it, period. Now she didn't got away with it, and I know Ricky said leave it alone. She got 12 months probation, but I'm gonna see what happened when you have the other little girls to go out there and start doing it. Because they're gonna take it and ratchet this thing up. I know. I mean, they can say what they will.
And then the other thing too that we have to address is, I think now it's 2023. We all know, like, this is one of the number one top kidnapping scams. So, or the way, you know, they'll sit a car seat on the side of the road and you're thinking like, oh my God, it's a car seat, you know, or the baby. So you pull over to check out the situation, you get kidnapped that way. Or they'll, you know, leave a stroller in the middle of a parking lot and different things like that. So I think that's something that definitely needs to be addressed because that's a real serious issue. So I believe that that's why she felt that she would be able to get away with it, because a lot of women have gotten kidnapped. That's why that scheme works so well. Yeah. Because they know, especially if you're a mother, your natural instinct, if you see a baby walking down the side of the road, your natural instinct is to stop. If you see a car seat or a stroller in an empty hot parking lot, your first instinct is to stop. And you see a baby unattended, your first instinct is to stop. That's why the kidnapping works so well, and that's why they use the baby. So for me, I was insulted by the fact that she used that, and they know that that's actually how they prey on most women's emotions, because it ain't men that's getting kidnapped, it's women. And they know how to get us. They know how to pull on our strings.
And it's so bad, Johnny. I promise you, it's so bad that when I was in Atlanta airport just this weekend, they made announcements about
just shut up, Rick.
They made announcements about trafficking.
According to who kidnapped us, Rick.
It's very bad. Like
it's very bad.
I mean, you laughing, but this is a serious issue.
No, I was laughing at what Ricky Crawford said.
No.
But but see, they put a thing out, be careful, watch your children, watch your surroundings. And it wasn't like that when I went to Newark. I guess they didn't really care. That's just a little junky airport up in Newark. But but when I was up there in Atlanta, when I was in Atlanta, they said it several times, over the loudspeaker for you to be real careful. Mm-hmm. And you're right. If you see a stroller, an empty stroller, you're gonna stop.
But I promise you, if I'm riding down the street and I see a little baby unattended, I'm gonna stop too, and I'm not a mother. And if I see a
I know,
stroller, you know what I mean. I think, but we all have an infinite amount of love for babies.
The reason why, even if you stop, Johnny, right, they're not gonna try to kidnap you or take you, because they feel like, okay, this is a man. He's gonna have some type of strength. You're gonna fight.
How does Carly look? I ain't seen.
She's beautiful. She's cute.
Young girl. She's 25.
She's cute.
Beautiful black girl.
And the thing about it that gets me with Carly is that Carly was cute enough. If she wanted attention, she got attention.
Yeah, she's really got it now.
She's really got it now, but she was cute. She didn't have to do this mess to get attraction for people to look at her.
Unless she actually just did it for the money. But let me go back to what I was saying. The thing is that now women are going to think twice, which you're supposed to think twice. I know that for me as a mother, if I saw a baby, or just as a woman in general, if I saw a baby on the side of the road, my first instinct is not to pull over the car, stop and get out. I would pull up far enough. I would call, or I would slow my car down. I would not stop my vehicle. Call the police. Hey, I'm on I-75 going north. I'm at mile marker 324. There's a baby on the side of the road. Someone needs to come immediately. I'm not going to get out of the car, but someone needs to come.
Or
that's the proper way to do it. You don't pull over, get out of the car to see about the baby, but they know most women are going to do that.
And what I would do is I would take a step further and say, can I send you my location on my Apple phone? Because that's gonna send them right there. They can come right to where I am. But what she's got, and what Emily is saying is, don't get out your car for anything like that. As a woman, don't do it. Don't do it.
Yeah, even the $100 bill on your windshield. We all know that that's a way, they put something on the $100 bill that makes you faint within 15 to 20 seconds. If you see anything sticking in your door, don't touch it. There's so many different ways they get females, and they wait. They see they have vans, cars, whatever, parked in Walmart parking lots, Target parking lots, and they wait to see if you're single. If they look like they can take you easily, they wait for you to go in. They come and put a $100 bill on your windshield. They come put a flyer on your windshield. They come put a ticket on your windshield. Your first instinct, is to grab it. Well, they've laced it with some type of chemical. You get in the car within 20, 30 seconds. You're feeling a little woozy, but you keep going. And what do? After a minute or so, you pull over on the side of the road, and that car follows you. And when you pull over, they get in that car, snatch you, and keep on moving.
You don't want the sheriff will be there in 3 hours.
See,
He
Ricky, I ain't fooling.
I
ain't fooling with you. I'm not, but that is
that has
bad,
triggered something in me that you say that.
Oh God,
no,
we're not going back to Waffle House.
We ain't going back to the Waffle House.
Struggling with.
We ain't going back.
I've been struggling terribly.
We ain't going to.
Okay.
Reggie talk about they'll come back the next day. Show up the next. Now they are really bad. My son's girlfriend got
627
in a car accident, and do you know the police never showed up? The police actually called our phone back after we waited 2.5 hours and said, "Well, let me just go ahead on and take a report over the phone." And I said, it's a car accident. We need a police to actually show up so we can have a police report. She told us, well, take pictures, and here's my cell phone number. I need you to send them here to the precinct, and we'll make a report over the phone. So do you know the police never showed up, and we ended up just having to go home?
I just got back from Dallas, y'all, and it is super hot out there. We performed in Dallas this past Friday night. And if you're in the Atlanta area on this Friday night, July 28th, I'll be at the Pink Lion Jazz Club at the New Black Wall Street Mall.
You know what you got?
The HOLINGSHED band.
And I tell you what, guess who's gonna be at the it's the back something. Now it's not the back porch. What's the name of the comedy thing here in Macon?
The Back Porch Lounge?
Back Porch Lounge.
Okay.
Al Jr. Zoe is gonna be out there performing this weekend. Who? Al Jr. My nephew Zoe, who was on the show. Zoe, the comedian Zoe.
I don't think that's gonna be the venue though.
Where's it gonna be at?
I don't know, but Back Porch Lounge.
Thank you guys. We love you.
That's what it's gonna be.
You've been listening to All of a Sudden. Join them every Monday evening from 5:30 to 6:30. All of a Sudden with your host, Brenda Sutton. That's every Monday. We'll see you there.
The views expressed on this program are not necessarily the views of the Glory 980 AM, the Glory Media Group, LLC, WDDO AM, its staff, management, or advertisers, but are the views and opinions of the